The film opens in the farthermost part of the North Pole. A Danish crew led by Captain Andersen gets their ship stuck in the middle of the frozen ocean. Despite the freezing temperature and low morale, Andersen intends to see his voyage through to the end. The crew is then found by Baron Victor Frankenstein, who is severely wounded. They bring Victor on board, but they are soon found by a gigantic creature. The men attempt to defend themselves, but are outmatched by the creature's brute strength, and he kills 6 men. He manages to board the ship, but the men throw him overboard and shoot the ice so that he may sink underwater. Andersen brings Victor into his quarters so that he may tend to his wounds. Victor admits that the creature is of his own making. He begins to tell Andersen what brought him to this point. Chapter I: Victor's Tale as a Child. Victor was closer to his mother Claire than his aristocratic father Leopold, who never showed the boy much care. Victor took up studies in mathematics and science at an early age. Claire tragically passes away, giving birth to Victor's baby brother William. Leopold raises William with more love than he did Victor, so Victor begins an obsession with conquering death. Victor claims this is when he first saw an angel of death reaching out to him. Leopold dies, and the brothers are split up, with William going with family in Vienna and Victor studying in Edinburgh. In 1855, the adult Victor is at a disciplinary tribunal with the Royal College of Medicine as he is conducting an experiment where he reanimates a corpse. The officials at the school expel Victor for what they perceive to be a slight against science and mankind. However, Victor garners the attention of arms dealer Heinrich Harlander. He approaches Victor since he is already acquainted with William, who is engaged to Harlander's niece Elizabeth. Victor joins Harlander at his home, where he begins to propose that Victor conduct his reanimation experiments in a building that he has acquired. Victor reunites with William after a long absence, and he also quickly becomes smitten with Elizabeth, though she is aware of his feelings and rejects his advances. She also views his desire to overcome death to be silly. In the present, the creature rises from out of the ice. The crew spots him walking back in their direction, and they are terrified. Victor continues his story by discussing how Harlander brought him to the tower that would become his laboratory. They gathered bodies for the experiment by making deals to take the bodies of men who were hung or victims of the war. William aids Victor and Harlander in constructing the lab. Victor believes he has made a breakthrough when he figures out how to send electrical currents through the lymphatic system to bring the heart and brain back to life. Victor assembles his creation and gets it ready on the night of a big storm so that he can get a proper lightning strike to reanimate his being. Harlander reveals to Victor that he is dying of syphilis, and that he requests Victor put his brain inside the creation to continue living. Victor refuses, knowing that the disease has probably already done severe damage to the rest of his organs. Harlander then tries to sabotage the experiment by taking one of the parts needed for the machine. He and Victor struggle, and Harlander slips. Victor tries to rescue him, but his sleeve rips, and Harlander falls to his death, smashing his skull on impact. Victor moves the body and gets his creation ready when the lightning strikes. Despite a massive strike, Victor is enraged to find that the creation did not reanimate, and he goes to bed frustrated. When he wakes up, Victor is stunned to see that the creature has indeed come to life. Although initially amazed at his work, Victor grows annoyed when the creature cannot seem to learn beyond saying Victor's name. He leaves the creature chained in the basement of the tower to keep him hidden. Victor also sees that the creature's wounds appear to heal rapidly, as shown when he slices his palm with a razor, but the wound closes quickly. William and Elizabeth arrive at the tower, with Victor hiding what happened to Harlander. Elizabeth discovers the creature herself and is astonished by him, while he in turn is taken by her kindness. Victor is then forced to show the creature to William, who is more apprehensive about his existence. He also later privately shows William that he has kept Harlander's corpse hidden on ice as well, but framing it as the creature having killed him in rage. Victor declares his experiment a failure and tells William to take Elizabeth back to Vienna so that he can deal with the creature. Victor leaves the creature chained up and sets the place on fire. The creature manages to break himself free before the fire spreads. Although Victor leaves, he has a last-minute change of heart and goes back, only for the tower to explode when he walks to the door. The explosion also destroys his right leg below the knee, necessitating his use of a prosthetic in the present. William and Elizabeth also return to witness the wreckage. Victor finishes his story, just as the creature makes it back on board. He prepares to attack and kill Anderson until Victor stops and pleads with him not to do it. The creature then decides to tell Anderson how he got there. Chapter 2. The creature's tale following his escape from the explosion. The creature took refuge in the woods and took clothing off a dead man before encountering hunters. He found shelter at the home of an old blind man and recalls how he witnessed the love among the man's family. The creature would go on to become the family's secret benefactor. Eventually, the creature reveals his existence to the blind man and starts to learn how to speak and read from him, as well as feelings of love and compassion. They form a genuine friendship that is tragically cut short when a pack of wolves attack the man. The creature fights and brutally kills most of the wolves, but the man dies from his wounds after the creature stays by his side. The man's family accuses the creature of his death, so they chase him out and shoot him, leaving him to die. Meanwhile, Victor has been taken in by William and Elizabeth prior to their wedding. The creature finds and confronts Victor, having survived his gunshots and realizing that he is essentially immortal. He demands that Victor create him a companion. He refuses, stating that his experiment that gave the creature life was a great regret. The creature attacks Victor, which Elizabeth hears. She goes to comfort him, but Victor tries to shoot the creature and accidentally hits Elizabeth. William arrives with his men, and Victor accuses the creature of killing Elizabeth. William and the men die, trying to fight the creature, and he takes Elizabeth to a cave to be with her in her final moments. Before dying, William tells Victor that he has always been afraid of him. Victor pursues the creature into the Arctic, where his attempts to shoot, stab, and blow him up with dynamite all fail and leave him with his own wounds. This would lead to him coming upon Anderson and his crew. With their stories finished, Victor knows he is about to die. He apologizes to the creature for his cruelty towards him, and he forgives Victor, acknowledging their relationship as father and son. Victor dies. As the morning comes, the creature helps push the ship out of the ice and back onto open waters. Moved by the stories he has heard, Anderson abandons his mission and promises the crew they will head home, leading them to cheer. The creature then stands and embraces the rising sun, with a tear streaming down his cheek.